You are live.
Okay.
Thursday night surprise.
Yeah, right. Thursday Night Live. Okay.
Hold on. I'm not. I don't have it up yet. One sec. Sorry. You got to turn off the loop on the music.
Do you have a Dear
Okay.
Game Devs? Do you have Dear Game Devs on the thing?
Yeah,
On the
I
board?
do. Yeah, I have Dear Game Devs. I don't have Peterson asks. Let me put. Wait, do I?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
we
Peterson.
played
I
that.
don't have JD asks.
You know me.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me see. Do I start it? You start it. Okay, go.
Hey, dude, welcome to the show.
JD, it's the neatest thing. I just saw a dog outside.
You saw a dog?
Yeah, just right outside.
Can I see it?
Yeah, man. Of course. Let's go see him.
Do you think you'll let me pet him?
I don't know. Let's go find out.
Oh man, no way. This is the greatest day of my life. You just logged into the 3-Bit Gamer Show. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And I saw a dog.
Dude, welcome to the dog pound. That's what we call ourselves now. We're the dog pound.
Dude, that's how I feel every time I see a dog. Jenna and I will be driving in the car. Someone's just walking a dog on the sidewalk. I would just point at it. I'm like, look, dog.
You see that? You see that?
See that dog?
We get a lot of dogs that walk by our house, and when I'm outside, it is my favorite thing when they stop and let us pet the dog.
Oh,
Because sometimes it's a little piece of crap dog that like no one, you're not allowed to pet, and like
you would
like,
always
this
be able
dog's
to
not
pet our
friendly."
dogs. Especially if you had kids with you, we would stop and you could just maul them, and your kids could just pull on their tails and their ears and just do whatever they want.
The best is when they come up with like, just a big dumb golden retriever who's like, not only like, can you pet him? He demands that everyone pet him.
Yeah, don't stop petting him. That's the problem. Yeah, so dogs are the best. Love seeing a dog. Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. News this week, as with all weeks, is brought to us by Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies is this cookie shop here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and other places.
All over the place. Name a place.
All over the place.
There. Seriously, go ahead. Name one.
Name a place.
Yep.
There's a Crave.
Try.
Or if there isn't, there will be one soon. Trust me. Crave has a rotating menu every week, and they rotate out like 5 or 6 or 7 cookies. But you know what? If you're smart, you just go there every week anyway, and you look, because they just have like an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper just stickied on the drive-through menu, and it just says, here's a bunch of other cookies we have. Because they like cater and do other stuff. So they just have like random cookies all the time. So just go to Crave all the time. Just go to Crave. Don't be a fool. Anyway, we got a inside look at what's coming up in the cookie world this next week. Peterson, help me out. So we will be June 30th. So we're 30th.
Going early. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Trent's got the Cookie Monster back. That's the blue cookie with cookie dough inside.
Yep.
I don't know how they do it. S'more, Death by Red Velvet.
That one's pretty good.
And a toffee caramel crunch.
Yep, you're speaking my language.
Oh boy, toffee caramel crunch. I dude, without any context, if you ask me if I want a toffee caramel crunch something,
always yes.
Cookie.
You could have said ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
That's cereal.
Pie. Do you want a toffee caramel crunch pie? Yeah, I do.
Cake.
I don't know what that is. I do.
I don't know. Donut. Are you kidding me? Toffee caramel crunch.
Did we just start a new business?
We just do toffee caramel crunch. We have one flavor. We just lock in on it. Nailed it. That's our
We're doing donuts this week, guys.
Oh my god, what a fun business that would be. Anyway, that is not what Crave is. Crave just does the cookies and the sodies. So get on to Crave Cookies. Go to cravecookies.com. Hey, get your cookie on. New and booty news, a new lawsuit alleges that Microsoft plans to put PlayStation out of business.
Booty news is a thing now.
We cover Matt Booty. We cover Matt's booty. Matt Booty, the president of Xbox or something. I don't even know we should know his title. We're obsessed
his title
with his name.
Is not important. His last name is Booty.
Yeah.
Matt Booty.
He's the head of Xbox Game Studios. Oh man, I just sometimes
the other guy in this sentence is Tim Stewart, and it's like that sounds like the lamest person I've ever heard in my life. Because
Tim Stewart, most vanilla ass bitch I've ever fucking heard of. Get out of here, you stupid. Get Matt Booty or better. Anyway, this is coming from there's lawyers representing a group of gamers who are suing to block the Activision acquisition. This is separate from everything else. This is just a bunch of gamers that are suing over antitrust concerns, and they're pointing to an internal Microsoft email that they describe as, quote, uncontroverted evidence that Microsoft had the intention to put its main competition, the Sony PlayStation, out of the market. This is coming from Booty and emails that Booty sent in 2018 and 2019, where he said there's no fucking way that Microsoft should bring its games to competing services.
So look, Microsoft's strategy here is not to beat the competition via being the best. They're just like, you know what? If we put everyone out of business by buying everything
Walmart
else,
model,
then we're the best by default, right? Isn't that how it works? Yeah, pretty sure.
So that's that. I don't know where that's headed. It doesn't super matter. All that matters is just remember the head of Xbox Game Studios' name is
Booty, 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 rocking it well.
Booty, 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 Booty. EA Sports and EA Games are splitting apart in an internal shakeup. This is big news to all the EA fans out there, all the big people that have like an EA shirt. They're always repping with their EA gear. We're just talking about the EA people out there. They're going to really care about this. So this is a reorganization. They're splitting EA Games and EA Sports into, let's see, I think it'll still be EA Sports, and then the other one will be, quote, EA Entertainment. So the idea here is that EA is going to be bigger than games. So you got EA Sports, just this stupid little whatever thing that they've always been doing. They're going to still keep doing it. But now EA Entertainment, like, let's be real. They just want to, like, make a movie out of an EA property. And then they're going to call themselves. This is what they want.
And they want to own the movie. They
want it to look more professional when the title card shows up on the film and it doesn't say EA Games. It's in the game. It's like EA Entertainment. We deserve to be here.
EA Entertainment 720.
You nailed it. CEO Andrew Wilson was writing about this. He said, quote, we're building the future of interactive entertainment on a foundation of legendary franchises and innovative new experiences, which represents massive opportunities for growth.
Massive opportunities
almost
for growth.
Exclusively buzzwords. Future of interactive entertainment.
Nailed it.
You're right. Sounds like Entertainment 720. A foundation of legendary franchises and innovative new experiences. So video games?
Yeah, what?
The video games you made, you can't just say fucking video games, which represents massive opportunities for growth.
These aren't video games.
That one's he throws in there for the NBA so they can get a little chubby.
Yeah, massive opportunities for growth. Everyone's like, okay.
He says that, the stock price goes up 25 cents. It's fucking wild. That's it. That's all you say.
They need a little boost real quick.
This is actually kind of funny from IGN. This is a quote. They said, while dramatic on the face of it, much of the current structure will remain intact. They go on to explain how, like, a lot of the reporting structure within the studio is going to stay the same. Like, even though the executives are being shuffled around, they're getting better titles. Honest to God, dude, after reading this article, I really think this was just like, I don't know, like a handful of executives that got together and they're like, how can we bolster all of our resumes and just give ourselves raises, better titles, and a couple raises? And this is what they did. This gives them an excuse to, like I said, maybe push into Hollywood or whatever. But realistically, it changes like nothing in the company, just like a name change, and looks good for shareholders. This is so weird.
Yeah, you know what this is, JD? This is an opportunity to lay off employees while also creating more executive positions.
Did you say massive opportunity for growth? Because that's all I heard.
Yes.
Ah.
And there's a little asterisk there because, like, yeah, I mean, we're growing in some respects, but like
growth by subtraction. Duh. That doesn't make sense. Brace yourselves. Xbox Game Pass price increases are coming. You like that? You like that? A Game of Thrones reference joke in 2023 in the summer. How you fucking like that, folks? I'm keeping it fresh.
I didn't even know that it was a.
That's how old it is. You didn't even feel it.
I mean, you can't just say something is coming and be like, "That's Game of Thrones."
Brace yourselves. That's like the meme.
Oh,
I mean,
all right,
whatever. Long story short, for the first time since Xbox Game Pass launched in 2017, 5 years ago, it's going up from $9.99 to $10.99.
Going up $1.
Dude, I remember when they started this with Netflix, and that fucking snowball just is out of control. I'm canceling my Netflix account next month.
So that's exactly the thought I had. I was like, okay, they held the line for a long time. Now they're gonna bump it up $1. In about 18 months, we're gonna get another notice that it's bumped up another $1.
And then they're gonna be like, yeah, and then you're gonna have to pay an extra $5 for access to the Xbox Game Pass Gold games, like the early launch ones. Yeah, because honestly, do you really think that they're gonna buy all of those? Like, they're gonna be comfortable forever giving out? I don't know, what's the sequel to Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, and they're just gonna perpetually give those away for free? No, they're gonna get an extra bonus in order to get those for free or on the launch day.
You want the day one, launch day games.
You're gonna have to pay the extra premium, and that is absolutely, we're 5 years out from that. This is the slow boiling you from a slow point so you don't notice it type of shit. I already canceled my Game Pass because I wasn't using it. But for me, I think this just puts Game Pass in the realm, or gets it closer to that realm where you don't of Uplay, where you don't have this, you don't just leave it on in the background because it's so cheap you don't think about it. This is like, once it starts kicking up, because that was like $100, $120 a year or whatever. Once this is like $150, $200, $300, and they're asking for all this other shit, it's going to become a lot less sexy. It's something you just do for a month.
Okay, so how long did you stay?
Huh? 5 years maybe until this is out of control.
Okay.
Nostradamjadius.
I love that marker. Now we know that's there. Oh, another fun thing I love to play. Wait, there's still one more clip.
Yeah, I was like, oh shoot. It's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there. We will get there. Just chill.
I'm so eager for them.
This one.
Nice. The doomed Titan submarine was using a $50 Logitech controller from 2010 to, quote, run everything. Do you see the video of this?
Dude.
Where he holds it up gleefully. He holds up this controller. The guy, the now retired CEO of this submersible company, holds up this controller to the CBS journalist who's interviewing him, and he's like, yeah, we use this to run everything. And the CBS journalist goes, are you serious? And puts his face in his hands.
Face palm. He does an actual face palm. Like, he's just like, he laughs.
An absolute non-expert who knows nothing about this, having been shown this as a layman, shown your submersible, is putting his face in his fucking hands.
Dude, I won't even play a video game on that controller.
Apparently the people who have hated it. if you see people on Reddit talking about, they're like, yeah, I had this, I just had it for whatever reason. I picked it up for gaming. I got it at Best Buy because it was there. It was the only one they had. This was an Xbox 360 third-party gaming controller. The 360, the Logitech G wireless gamepad F710. With a name like that, the engineering team that was on it was paid well, and their work was prioritized. So, I don't know why you wouldn't use just the actual Xbox controller.
I mean, they're just so much better, right? I mean, you've held them in your hands.
Controllers that were, if you wanted it to be wired, they had those as well. But no, this guy went with the Logitech one, among other things like lights from Camper World.
Dude, you got to cut costs when building a deep sea submarine. Got to keep those costs low,
dude. I think I engineered the lumber wall that I built for a Rose box with more thought and care than this guy did.
Well, I know how much thought you put into your
landscape
compost bin. So
oh yeah,
you beat him on that too.
Oh god, don't even get me started about composting. Yeah. That's what this guy is now. Riblets. I'm so sorry I spoiled it. Play it again.
You spoiled it with a too soon joke. Speaking of compost, the Titan submarine.
Instant compost, dude. Anything you put in that sub turns to compost.
All right, we'll play this again. Here we go.
Yeah. God damn. Am I ever going to get sick of hearing that? I don't know.
Every time I hear that, riblets, I get so excited.
Ugh, it's so good. Riblets are these little nuggets of news. Meat pies. Meat pies on bones. Take a meat pie in your hand, slap the bone in your palm, squeeze hard, you got a riblet. All right, first up here, a bombing suspect was caught because of Pokemon cards.
Okay. Did you read this? This is the most random story. This guy, I guess someone was doing these bombings in Maryland.
Now, when you say bombings, you got to clarify they're M80s. Yes. So they're bombings in the same way that Bart Simpson is a bomber.
These are the equivalent of putting some dry ice and some water in a 2-liter.
Yes. Right? I will be to be fair. I believe an M80 is a quarter stick of dynamite worth of black powder.
Right.
So it's no joke, and you could definitely blow a hand off with these things. They don't fuck around.
Dry ice bombs are also no joke. Did I tell you about the time I almost got expelled from school for that?
You did it with plastic or glass?
No, it was plastic.
Plastic, little bitch. Glass ones would blow apart a porta potty, baby. Not that I know that. I just have heard it. Okay. Anyway,
so this guy is lighting M80s all over town. And apparently leaving Pokemon cards at the site.
That one,
I don't get it.
What is he, like Pigpen? Like he just has a trail of like mayhem and Pokemon cards.
Okay, but look at him. Click on the story and look at the picture of the guy.
Dog. No, I know. This is the best part. This is my favorite. I got a quote from the story that absolutely killed me. When questioned by police, 34-year-old Jeremiah E. Burnett claimed he was the one who detonated the explosives all over town over the past few weeks. However, he reportedly did not tell investigators or police why he had been planting or blowing up small bombs all over town, or why he had brought Pokemon cards with him during the alleged crimes. So he's like, oh yeah, it was me. Pokemon cards, the bombs, yeah, it was me. They're like, why? He's like,
I mean, why?
You mean, fuck not.
You sound so stupid asking me that right now.
Are you serious? You saw the crime scenes, right? Like, you get it.
Okay, so you've got a bunch of M80s and you got a bunch of Pokemon cards. Come on, you can get there. Come on. The cops are like, I don't get it.
Dude, M80s and Pokemon cards, this is me in an alternate reality. This is like, look at that picture of him. Shave all my fucking hair off, get me stoned or blitzed out on whatever the fucking Midwestern shit this guy was smoking. just like a combination of like fentanyl and meth. And that's me. That's me, dude.
That's you, JD. Can we buzz your head? We'll get you there.
You tell me at like 11 years old that I get arrested for lighting off M80s and Pokemon cards, and when I'm 34, I'm like, wow, I'm doing really well for myself. Things are going well for JD. He got M80s. It was hard for me to get M80s as a kid. This guy just got them. He's got them to spare. Anyway, that was way long for religion.
Yeah.
What?
No, I was just gonna say, the way they pieced this together was also super funny to me. They didn't know who was doing these M80 bombings.
They arrested a guy.
And then one of the cops, when he saw the Pokemon card, remembered a couple weeks ago had arrested a guy who had a stack of Pokemon cards on him.
Unrelated crimes.
Unrelated.
Just,
like, you know what?
One other criminal that I arrested that had Pokemon cards, and they go and they're like, "Was that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was me." They're like, "So I noticed we arrested you 2 weeks ago. You had Pokemon cards, and then we were like finding these bombs all over town with Pokemon cards. Was that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was fucking me.
You got me. You got me."
They're like, "Why?" He's like, "I don't know." What the fuck, dude? Being a cop sometimes just got to be like a parent, being like a parent of like a wild teenager. We're like, "Why did you fucking do that?" They're like, "Oh."
What do you mean? Why? I don't know.
Like,
I don't
well,
have a reason.
go to your room, aka go to jail.
Yeah,
because I don't know what the fuck to do with you. What's wrong with you? We had a couple of games that we saw come out of the Nintendo Direct that just dropped. Super Mario RPG got a makeover. One of Trent's all-time favorite games. Super Mario RPG. They are doing a remake of it, a full remake that looks gorgeous, by the way.
It looks great.
Yeah, it's like they made it for his daughters to play. Like the new generation are gonna love it. So that's
Trent's
awesome.
so excited. He got so excited about this.
Freaked out. I couldn't believe he hadn't seen it. I was so delighted that I was the one to actually share the news with him. Also, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Super Mario Brothers Wonder is out this October.
Is going to be
just like Nintendo. They're like, "Yep, here's the shit. It's out now. Like it's out. Like you don't have to wait that long." So that's cool. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It looks to be a side-scrolling game
Mario
in the traditional Mario vein. But there's a lot of shit going on. Like a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, like at one point at the end of the reveal or whatever,
yeah,
you get Elephant Mario.
There's Mario with an elephant nose.
He's just he becomes a big fat elephant Mario. Why not?
It looks like there's co-op, like you can play with like 4 people, and it's not like you're racing against each other across the map. It's like you're legit doing a co-op, like side-scrolling mission of some kind. Looks like there's a lot of traditional Mario platforming type of things. It's a Super Mario Brothers game, and it's not Paper Mario, so it's probably going to be fucking amazing, right?
I know. They
don't miss on these.
So, yeah.
As long as it's not Paper Mario, I think we're good. And then also, this is a super good one. The FTC cited Starfield and Redfall's exclusivity as a reason to block the Activision acquisition. This is just can't have your cake and eat it too, Microsoft. Microsoft is, I mean, we haven't really talked about this that much, but they just released Redfall and it was an exclusive on Xbox, and they're releasing Starfield, and it's going to be one of the biggest games releases of this year, and it's going to be an Xbox exclusive. And they're doing this at the same time they're arguing that they can acquire one of the biggest video game companies in the world, and they won't be tempted to make those titles exclusive.
It'll be
Starfield
fine
and Redfall, both from a studio, if you guys remember, that Xbox just fucking acquired.
Yeah.
They just bought ZeniMax, Bethesda, all that shit. They just bought them a couple of years ago, and like fucking that, just like Booty said, just as the Booty foretold.
Booty knew. Booty always knows.
Exclusive to this Booty. One console, one Booty, one game. That's what he always tells his subordinates. And they're like, God, I wish you'd stop referring to yourself in the third person. And then he says, Booty does what Booty wants. So yeah, this was also followed up. Stephen Totillo on Twitter said the FTC lawyer that was questioning Bethesda's Pete Hines confirmed that Disney had a deal for an Indiana Jones game that would be on multiple consoles. So Hines confirms this. And then the FTC says the deal was amended post-acquisition to be Xbox only for consoles. So this is exactly what I just said. Once they got Bethesda, everything under Bethesda became Microsoft's. Why would they sell the PlayStation? And as Booty said, how did he phrase it? There's no fucking way we're putting these games on PlayStation, selling these games on PlayStation. So
dude, it's so funny because now all these things just keep coming out. Microsoft can't stop shooting themselves in the foot. They're just like, bro, we've got this Activision deal now. Like, give us that indie license. Like, they're just like, it almost feels like they're using it as a selling point in other business things, and they're absolutely not getting Activision.
No, I think we've said it. We already predicted that the deal is dead, but this is just, I mean, they've got a month left to pick this apart, and it's not starting well. It's
and then the one little story I added to this just made me really laugh because PlayStation can't help themselves either. Like, one of their biggest things has been, well, you know, Microsoft buys Activision, and Call of Duty goes Xbox exclusive. One of the biggest games out there, the biggest game out there.
PlayStation will die.
Will die. And then, so then, these guys can't stop emailing each other. This is like the third time this week where we've said in an internal email that we found,
which will come out and discover, you dumb bastards.
Just look, this is a hot HR tip. If there's something you don't want anyone to hear,
get on a Zoom call, you stupid fucking
It's a phone
idiots.
call. It's a phone call, Zoom call, it's voice, face to face. If you want something documented, then you email it, right? They're doing the opposite
at work. Talk.
Yeah. So Jim Ryan, he had sent out an email. I don't even know I could necessarily follow this. But he says that the email says, he's talking about Call of Duty. It's not an exclusivity play at all. He says they're thinking bigger than that, and they have the cash to make moves like this. And he's saying, I spent a fair bit of time with Phil Spencer and Bobby Kotick over the past day, and I'm pretty sure we'll continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for many years to come. This is in an email, and like one of their main points has been like, look,
why would you send that fucking email?
Why
would you ever be like, hey, you know, the case that our lawyers are working really hard to fight for? Oh, it's totally bullshit. What's the purpose of that? What was the end game? What was fucking Jim Ryan looking to accomplish? He's just like all about transparency. He's just like radically honest with his coworkers. The fuck are you thinking?
I can't.
Executives are so stupid, dude. They're so disconnected from shit. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Emails.
So dumb. All right, let me get this.
Kudos is our uplifting, delightful positivity segment where we like to give shout outs and kudos to things that we enjoyed during this last week. Peterson, how about you?
Yeah,
I'll go first. I got two.
I've got one. I'll just start. It's pretty quick. Let's see. Last week I was in Cedar City, Utah for 5 days or something like that. One of the things I wanted to see is, because we were pretty close to it, is a national monument called Cedar Breaks. So I looked it up. We were 30 minutes away, and I said, we're driving up there once the weather clears up, because it kept raining like all week.
Because we live in Hawaii now.
It's just like rains every day at some point. At some point it'll rain. Yep. So yeah, we had a nice clear day. We drove up to see Cedar Breaks. This year, like all of the trails and the lodge at Cedar Breaks are all shut down because they're being remodeled and kind of redoing it all. But there's these overlooks you can go see. So you just drive up. First of all, beautiful drive. Perfect time of the year for it too, because everything's green. Because like we said, it keeps raining. So I'm, we pull up at one side. We're just like on a mountain cliffside and just looking down into a valley full of canyons as far as the eye can see. Looks like a Lord of the Rings movie or something.
Then we looking at time itself.
Well, that got real deep.
Just looking at the floor of an ancient seabed as it just shelves away. It's so
yeah,
cool.
then we go over to see Cedar Breaks, and it's called an amphitheater, but it's these big red it's a canyon of just these red rocks, like JD said, that looks like underwater features. It's incredible. It was incredible. It was so cool. We all loved it. Absolutely worth it just to drive up there. I mean, the drive was beautiful. But I'd never, like I said, I've been in Utah for 10 years, something like 6 years, and I've never been there. And so there's just a lot of beautiful stuff. So that's my kudos this week, guys. If there's something, in driving distance that you haven't gone and seen near you, and I know our Utah listeners, I know there's something. Go check it out, because it was honestly a huge part of my week. It was awesome. I keep thinking about it. The pictures are incredible. So, and if you're in Cedar City, definitely don't miss Cedar Breaks.
Very cool. So I just have 2 kudos, quick kudos. I know how many times I give kudos to Mountain Dew, but I just got to give a kudos to Mountain Dew for just being no breaks this year. They have just been
nonstop.
What the fuck are they doing? So they went hard on getting Baja out there this summer, but then they also released Baja Passion Fruit Punch and Baja Caribbean Splash, which is a guava one that I just found tonight. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
Maybe the best Mountain Dew I've ever had. Have you had that one yet?
Yeah, Graham brought one home.
What? Why is that one so good?
Dude, like both of those flavors, I thoroughly enjoy.
Unreal. The passion fruit one just blew my mind.
Yeah, and then the guava one's awesome. So yeah, I would second your kudos here, because Mountain Dew.
But remember, they did that Rocket Pop one. They kicked off the summer with the Rocket Pop.
Dude, I still have like a couple 12 packs of that,
and that stuff's amazing.
Dude, I'm loving it. I am loving it.
Yeah, I don't know why they're like, let's do 4 flavors this summer, but holy shit. Keep it up. Dude, I had a funny thought, because I go to Smith's today, and Jenna pointed it out, and I realized Smith's that I go to has a really big soda aisle, because it has like 2 little mini aisles that go down the middle of it. So it's basically the width of 2 standard aisles. And I realized that almost never do I go down the side that has all the Coke products. I go down the side with the Mountain Dew products. If there's nothing new, I don't get anything. Legit. I just leave. Because I'm like new soda or no soda, basically, at this point. But I kind of glanced over there to see if they had those Coke ones they have, like the League of Legends Coke or whatever. And they never have anything new. They never do anything new. So I just don't drink Coke products anymore.
It's Mountain Dew is doing all of it.
Yeah,
they're carrying all of the new products. Yeah, Coke has those couple of, like, they'll release
and
one
they suck.
every now and then.
Coke ones suck like fucking 80% of the time, and then the 20% they're like tolerable. I've never had a Coke one that I went back to.
That I was like, that was dope. Yep, that's exactly where I'm at. They're all just like fine.
Okay, thanks. That was okay. Starlight was all right, because it was marshmallow. That was the best one for me. Mountain Dew is amazing. Another quick kudos. Oh my God in heaven, you guys, Mer People. You got to watch Mer People on Netflix. MER, like mermaid, Mer People. So I turn this show on. I see it on Netflix, and Jenna and I are kind of death scrolling Netflix. Like when you go to an empty mall and you go see like what stores are like doing clearance and closeout sales and shit. That's what it feels like on Netflix for us right now. And so I'm like, ooh, what's Mer People? I put this shit on as a joke.
Can't believe you watched this.
I watched it for the first maybe 30 seconds, and I'm laughing. I'm like, Jenna, you have to fucking see this shit. So fucking funny. Watch it for 2 minutes, and I'm like, oh man, this is wild. And Jenna sits down at about like 5 minutes in, and I'm like, oh, you can change it. You can turn it off. And she's like, no, I want to watch this. We sat down at like, I don't know, it was like we were eating dinner or something, or maybe it was after dinner. It was just like we had no plans for the night. We weren't doing anything. Peterson, we binged all 4 episodes. They're like an hour plus each. just straight through. It was like 1 a.m. We're like, what? Oh, we don't do that. We're not like, oh, I binged all of Tiger King in one night because we had to. It was like, it just happened. Mer people just happened to us.
You didn't explain what it's about though.
It is about mermaids. It is about people who dress up like mermaids and perform professionally as mermaids. They are professional mermaids. This is a documentary about the world of professional mermaiding. And holy fuck, just like every other world that has of every other hobby, it's crazy as a motherfuck. Like the whole thing got started at this like spring in Florida, where these women would basically kill themselves for the opportunity to work here as underwater mermaids, where they're just down there and there's just like pipes and they'd grab them and like air up. But then they'd also have to push air into their like little round masks that would go over their nose and eyes. And so they all ended up with like these monstrous sinus infections, and their faces and shit are just fucked up for life. And they're like going to mermaid reunions like, 50 years later, like best mermaiding, best shit of my life, best thing that ever happened to me. Putting on mermaid tails. Mermaid tails are huge in the huge part of the community. I can't tell you enough. Like I went into it fully expecting to just be like laughing my ass off at these people, but I was so goddamn invested by the end. I was like, I have to go see a mermaid show. Mermaid show. Yeah, I have to go see a mermaid show. What the fuck?
We're going to Vegas. I guess we're going to Vegas.
They do that tank in Vegas, the big one in the middle of the casino, whatever the fuck, the MGM or whatever. That's a big part of it because they get to go perform in that tank, and what goes into that. What you get from what is like an actual, she's like an amateur mermaid to like the big show, which is like performing in Vegas. And you're like, fuck, I'm so invested in this shit. It's so crazy. It's called Mer People. It's on Netflix. If you're into weird hobbies, and the people that are just, I would watch it. It's fucking funny. It's good. It's good. Mer People.
Peterson asks. Peterson asks. Ask Peterson a question. I don't know.
Ask. There's no music with that. It's just acapella.
Just Trent going acapella.
That's sick. Peterson Asks is a segment where Peterson asks something, so take it away.
I didn't plan anything, so no, I'm just kidding. So let's see. Peterson asked, our question this week is, what makes a good airplane game? And the catalyst for this was why we're recording on Thursdays, because JD is leaving on a jet plane. Yep.
Yeah.
He's going up.
Don't
to
know when
Portland.
I'll be back again. Hopefully by next week. Well, which is also why we're not talking Next Fest. So sorry. Take a couple extra days.
Don't worry, we
more
will.
Games. Okay, so
airplane game. What do you play on an airplane?
Games.
You get on a flight. You've got your Steam Deck. You've got your Switch or whatever.
Phone.
What are you playing? How do you choose?
So the first thing, because you're on an airplane, I gotta disable all my sex games on Steam. I can't play any of those hentai games because
that is I wrote on my note card here. I don't know if you can see it. No porn games.
No porn games. I mean, that's honestly the worst part of traveling for me.
Actually, it says, my note says specifically, no porn games, JD. That's what it says. No, JD,
you know me too well. You know me too well. What can I say, dude?
You got into it. You can't stop now.
The tray table's down. No one knows what's going on. No one knows what's going on. But I also like a slow game. Easy to pause. Someone stands up, someone hands you a drink, someone's like passing garbage over you, whatever. Your game, you can't lose your game because of it.
You don't want that to mess you up.
Yeah, so or if you do die, it's low enough of a impact. It's like Brotato or something. You're like, oh, I died. Who cares? I'll just start a new run.
Doesn't matter.
It's like whatever. So that's a huge one. Is it
easily
needs to
pause?
Be
that was my first.
Okay.
Jump it. You can jump in and jump out.
Abby, just to let you know, we did recently update the Dice of Destiny to include porn games. So Peterson's really looking forward to rolling that one.
You
so
know I'm gonna get it too. Like I'm gonna get it.
Dude,
every
you're gonna
time.
be in your minivan in your garage late at night playing it on your Steam Deck by yourself, like just quietly, so no one sees you playing it. Another one that I like for a plane, because I mean, I feel like, I guess on a plane you can just throw your headphones on and just be done. But on a plane, it's nice if there's no sound necessary for the game. So if there's dialogue or if there's something that you need to listen to, so if there's a warning that is helpful to know if you hear it going off in the game, but you can't hear it, that's not going to be a good airplane game.
No, there's too much distraction, too much reason to pull the headphones off if you have them on. So I'm with you on that one. That I put, that was my second bullet point. It has to be a quieter game, but the other pieces has to be a quieter game for the player too. Mm-hmm. Nothing so crazy that you're like,
beeping.
This is bull crap. Like getting pissed, right?
Can't play League on a plane. No.
Well, yeah, online games are out. Don't even try.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But I will say it is nice if you have nice music to just tune out the plane. So good music in the background is one thing, but no, I don't want to be dependent on listening to the sound of the game.
The game should have no time sections. So what I mean by that is, first, long player turns. Think like Civilization type of thing where you're like, oh, one more turn, and your turns are kind of long.
Yeah.
Shouldn't do that because, again, you got to pause it, and those are so annoying to pause. And then, like games like this one will be surprising, but games like Stardew Valley that have like a day cycle. Okay. I know for me, at least, I'm like, I'm just going to play this day. Like I view a day as like a sequence. And so as like a turn. And so I don't want to be like, I don't want to pause it in the middle. You could, Stardew you could do, but I feel like I always have like a plan for what I want to do that day. And if I have to pause it for 20, 30 minutes and come back to it, I'm like, what was I doing? So I know when I stopped playing Stardew, it was typically I would stop after I went to bed and woke up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also wrote no horror games. Look, you don't want to get jump scared. Also, whatever you're playing, somebody is going to be watching.
Dude, that's so funny. I put a game that's not fun to watch over your shoulder. Just something boring or something that's so confusing that the person watching you couldn't possibly follow it.
Like if you were watching, so if you pulled up like Wall World or something and we're playing that, and someone just starts watching that cold, it would take them a little bit to figure out what you're doing.
That Wall World would be fun to watch. I watched people streaming it and I was like, oh, that's pretty satisfying. But a game like Farlanders, or like you said, like Civ, just a game where it's just like taking time to do shit.
Yeah, Farlanders would be very boring to watch.
Oh my god. And sometimes I just stare at the screen on Farlanders for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the fucking game. You just stare at it like a chessboard.
Yes, that would be. They'd be like, is he playing a game? What is he doing?
Is he asleep? Yeah, that's the idea.
The guy behind you would just break at some point and be like, just do something.
Hey, it's your turn, asshole. I'm like, find like 4 people are just like over my shoulder. Like, are you gonna fucking move or not?
Do you guys want me to play Mario Kart instead? I can do
yes, that. God damn it.
And then hand me the other Joy-Con. I'm playing.
Yeah, Mario Kart would be terrible. You'd have people leaning into you and like leaning.
I
left
got
and
next.
Right.
People calling next. Standing. You got a line next to you.
Yeah.
I did make some recommendations based on flight length.
Oh.
So if it's a short flight,
nice.
you're talking like a 1 to 3 hour flight. Roguelike games are great for this because you do have time to like play a little bit, but like I play like Undermine on my Steam Deck when I'm waiting for my son during like soccer practice.
Oh, nice.
And then practice gets over and I just like turn it off, whatever. Like it does not matter, right?
No. Yeah.
Card games, so like card-based games, not talking like
Spire,
but like
and stuff.
Card-based games, easy.
Time.
And JRPGs. And the reason being is the fights are usually pretty short. and pretty frequent. So you can get in a fight, out of fight, in a fight. And there's usually not like, oh, I just got to make it to this one thing and then I can stop, right? Especially on the Steam Deck, you can just hit pause, put the thing to sleep, and it's going to save your spot, right? Medium flight. So it's taking like, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours. RPGs. This is a great RPG type of flight. You want to bust out Skyrim or Fallout or something on you want to bust out I don't know, whatever, just any RPG. Hogwarts Legacy would be great. Where you just something where you don't get a lot of time to usually play like 1 to 3 hours at a time. And that's the type of flight where you could do that.
You make sure that you have one of those outlets on the plane and you just cook the whole time. Oh my God.
Turn-based strategy games are great for this too. Those are like Civ games that I was talking about because you're in it for a little bit of a long haul. You can sit there and take some time. And then long ones, this is where you're going to play. Again, RPGs are great for that, but also like a Breath of the Wild is a great one for like a long flight because you can easily play for an hour and a half, 2 hours and not be like, not
I don't know,
like,
dude.
oh, something's happening.
What I've been experiencing the latest Zelda game, that game is like dangerous. They feel every time I pick up a controller, it feels like I'm starting a meth binge. I'm like, I don't know, like a bender, not a binge, a bender.
Yeah,
that's how I describe. That's how I should describe how I play Zelda. Every single time it feels like a bender. Like I stop playing, it's 2:30, and my first thought is like, maybe I should just play through. I mean, it's already, and then I wake up at like 6:30, 7 in the morning, like when I normally do. And my first thought is like, well, I'm up early. I might as well, a little Zelda. Like that shrine was so
Let me just get in there. I remember where I was. I was about to do that.
I do not want to play that shit on a plane. Miss every flight, miss all my connecting flights, end up stuck in Jersey for the rest of my life. I can't. I have to finish this shrine.
Definitely don't play that on a train then, because you will miss everything.
End of the line, always. No, that game is a problem.
Single player survival games are great for long flights. So think like Minecraft, Valheim, right? A game where you're just in it by yourself, going through and playing where you can craft
Minecraft local. I know Valheim you can't. You have to be connected.
But I'm just saying those types of games where you are just doing something and building something. Think like Planet Crafter, right? Where you can just like, you know what? If I was at home, I wouldn't sit here for an hour and build my base. But I'm stuck on this plane, can't go anywhere. I'm going to sit here and build my base. You know what I mean?
Planet Crafter on a plane. Oh my God.
That would be so great on a plane. But honestly, for me, I'd probably end up just playing a roguelikes just because I've got so many of them now. I can just kind of jump in and out. Do whatever.
Yeah. It's the format of the flight. So we've had a lot of subjective answers to your original question here, which was what makes a good airplane game. However, there's only one real objective answer to this question. The one thing that makes a good airplane game, it's Peggle. Peggle satisfies almost every single thing we've talked about so far.
You're absolutely correct.
Every single one.
I tried to think of a game that would get us there. To like, what's the game that's fitting these criteria? Peggle's the game.
It's Peggle. And it's fun with sound. It's fun without sound because you play with sound. You got that da 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 every time you like do it. The music's
you don't need
fine.
It's great if you have it.
It's offline. You can play it on your phone. Whatever.
You can pass. You can pass the Steam Deck to your travel companion and be like, here, we're gonna take turns. Isn't there like a 2-player mode or something, dude?
Yep. You can play it with friends. It's not porn. I also had one on here. It's relaxing, so you can try to get to sleep later. That's what a good game would have, and Peggle fits that as well.
I do fall asleep while I'm playing Undermine sometimes in the car, and I die 100% of the time because I fell asleep while I'm playing.
That's fair.
Car. So that's great.
I don't even think Peggle would be fun to watch. I think you'd watch a couple games and you'd be like, oh, it's the same thing every time. And I'm not playing, so it's not that satisfying. It's like you wouldn't watch someone play Space Invaders. You'd be like, oh, nice.
However, you could possibly keep a rowdy child distracted by them watching you play Peggle. An adult wouldn't want to watch it. A child would. That child was going to scream at their mother. They had plans
enjoy Peggle
for the next 2 hours to scream at mom. Instead, they're just going to stare at Peggle.
So don't get on a plane without Peggle. That's
Dude.
what I'm telling you. I think honestly,
I mean,
I think I have it on my phone. I don't think I played it in 2-3 years. But I'll tell you what, if I get on a plane and I don't have internet service, it's Peggle. Yep.
Make it happen. It's on here, I think.
Dear Game Devs, it's been nearly a fortnight since I last wrote. Mother is well and much has changed back on the farm, but I have just one request of you.
Dear Game Devs is this segment where we implore game developers to do our bidding. Do what we want, do what we say, and do it now, damn it. You idiots. And we've been talking recently about Embracer Group's foibles, their struggles lately to, I don't know, secure a mystery deal to keep their company solvent, to continue managing and maintaining the 9,000 properties they bought over their 3-year spending spree, including, not the least of which, Lord of the Rings.
It's been on the mind. Lord of the Rings is on the mind.
And so between these guys looking to exploit the fuck out of Lord of the Rings, which is what their CEO said, and we covered that last week, and the idea that the Lord of the Rings will be slipping into public domain within the next 20 years, next year in Canada. So look out for those Canadian Lord of the Rings video games, movies, and TV shows.
Great. We're going to get a bunch of Ubisoft Lord of the Rings games now.
They're going to be sick. Oh, that would be sick, actually.
They would make it look good, at least. That's what they know how to do.
So you'd have to pirate those so you can use them in America.
Why does Frodo have a gun? Ubisoft can't help themselves.
Why is Frodo so vulgar?
I don't remember the F word in the movies or the books.
He never called Sam a motherfucker in the books.
I get Gollum just dropping F-bombs constantly.
The vile things that come out of Gollum's mouth. Oh my Lord, make a sailor blush. So we want these game developers that will be soon will be just have the Lord of the Rings license thrust upon them. We want them to make these games. So do you want to start? You want me to start? Where do you want
to F it. I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna say it. We're getting the Lord of the Rings kart racer.
Oh fuck, man, you really went off the rails.
Okay, no, this is the only one that's off the rails, but dude,
damn.
This is the first one we're getting, though. You know that, right? Like, it's going to make no sense. And they'll be like, should they be horses? Nah, they should.
Are they all like chibi characters? They got like big heads and like anime eyes.
Yeah. It's like kind of offensive.
And they hit each other. And Sauron's like,
you're like, Lord Aragorn would never be caught on a go-kart. One of the hobbits, remember from the Hobbit movie, he rolls in the barrel for like 100 years on down the river. That's his cart. He's just in a barrel.
Dude, the kart racer. And they're all the different tracks. I can see them now easily. Mordor's the final level, and you have to race around a volcano.
They're getting smashed by the big rock trolls or whatever.
So easy. This game writes itself.
I know.
You're right. They are going to make
this. Yeah, dude. This is like, and now it's 2025. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no,
racer.
this is gonna definitely come out, and Christopher Tolkien is literally gonna crawl out of his grave to die again.
Lord of the Track. What's it gonna be called?
No, it's LO. It's LO Track. It's just you just stylize it, so it's LOTRACK.
You got it. That's what it is.
We nailed it. That's the name of the episode.
At least get royalties for this.
Yeah, somebody's got to. All right. So for me, I spend a fairly embarrassing amount of time on the Lord of the Rings wiki. I have only read The Hobbit, and yet I read a lot about the Lord of the Rings lore. I tried to read Fellowship, and I was like, how long are they going to spend sleeping in this fucking tree? And then I just stopped reading it and got bored. But the story's interesting, and especially the stuff in the Silmarillion.
I knew you were. I didn't even go there because I knew you were going to go there.
So I spent a lot of time like watching YouTube videos, reading these wikis, just about these stories that are, I feel like they're hidden in the Silmarillion. It's like you have to like parse them out. I don't know. So one of these that I think could stand out. There's a couple of these. One of the big ones I think that I like is Melkor or Morgoth. So it was like Sauron's boss, Sauron's daddy, kind of, versus the Valar. I don't know.
Yeah,
who
they're
were like Gandalf's boss.
yeah.
They're like there's like 14 like demigods underneath like the main god, and then Gandalf was like worked for those guys, and then
Gandalf's like a demigod light,
yeah,
a vice demigod.
So let me just read this passage that I pulled from one of the these wiki articles, and tell me this doesn't read like the splash screen from a game, like the intro from a game.
During the time of the lamps before the first age, Melkor first dug the great pits of Utumno, deep beneath the mountains of the north. The fortress was constructed here in the Iron Mountains, where the light of the lamps did not reach. Here, Melkor gathered to him all the evil powers of the world. Creatures were also bred here, such as trolls, made in the mockery of Ents, as stated by Treebeard. Cruel spirits, phantoms, wraiths, and evil demons stalked the halls of Utumno and haunted the surrounding forests. Dude, so you've got one guy with all the like, does this not read like a RTS to you?
That, or do you want to know what I was picturing?
Sure,
This is a JRPG. This is, I haven't played a ton of them, but this is the beginning to a JRPG where they just start spouting lore at you, and you're like, I don't know. None of this means anything to me. With the lamps, what are you talking about? Like that's how every JRPG starts, with just wacky lore that you don't know what's going on. They're throwing names around. You don't know who these people are. You're like, I'm supposed to know these people. This is the beginning of a JRPG. It's a pixelated JRPG. I could picture the words. Dude, it's right there.
See, I like an RTS where you've got the Valar versus Morgoth, so it's just two different factions basically, and all, because that's all Morgoth was doing. He was just like making corrupt mockery creatures, just like fuck with.
He's kind of a troll, to be honest.
He's just a troll, and you just make things to mess with them.
They're like, stop making you can't make all these crazy OP things either. Like, what?
Yeah. Dude, are you serious? Balrogs?
Yeah.
See, here's one of the sickest fights. So Shelob, you know, the giant spider / super sexy babe. Yeah. So her mom kind of was called Ungoliant, which is this giant, big, huge, fucking scary spider.
Was she hot too?
I assume. I don't know. Have you been watching Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings thing?
Yeah, I watched it.
We talk about those two little stones or whatever that are so important.
Mm-hmm.
She eats those. This fucking spider just like eats those. Like, to put the power, the Valar doesn't even know where she came from. She just rolled up one day out of the darkness. They're like, poof, giant evil spider is here. So at some point,
eating our magic stones. What are
eating magic stones? She ends up fighting Morgoth, like the giant spider versus like Sauron's dad, and he is getting his ass kicked, and he starts crying out for help. And who comes out? Army of Balrogs starts whipping the shit out of this spider with their fire whips. Look, dude, I don't know what the game is, but I need to see that fucking happen. I'll play a Balrog. I'll play the spider.
Nope, you're gonna play a hobbit who is like
a hobbit,
even more dwarfed by these giants.
Them hobbits like, wow, where did you get this leaf? Because I need some more of this shit.
This is some good stuff.
This is good stuff. So that's one. The first age stuff with all the stuff that you wouldn't even. It's so early lore that most people would be like, wait, there's guys before Sauron? Like, yeah, there's a big bad before Sauron.
Why are there 200 Balrogs? I thought there was just one.
I thought there was just the one. Well, you had it. There was a big enough spider. You had to have 200 to whip it.
They had a Balrog city. They had
They had a
Balrog
whole
babies
culture,
and stuff.
language, everything, dude. We took
They
it from
actually
them.
were really into the arts. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect that, but they were
Everything
pretty
was
good.
whip based, but once you got over that, it was a pretty interesting, fascinating culture.
Okay, I
What
got
else
one.
you got? Yeah.
Okay, so I have two others, and they're both ones that I actually really do want to see would be fun. First, Total War Middle Earth. Okay,
Oh,
Total War
easy.
series.
Fucking easy.
You are controlling the armies and sending you. The battles are your
so many different wars that you
So
could do.
easy, JD. Isn't that like you could? And there's heroes in it.
Last Alliance, the 5 armies, the elves
Dude,
and men.
There's dwarves, there's elves, and then you could have like, you know, in like Total War Warhammer, you've got like huge creatures too, which are, you know, you can't have a lot of them because they're expensive.
Yeah.
You can have an Ent on your team. You're playing the bad guys, you can get a rock troll, but then
Trolls.
there's like goblins and orcs, and then there's like things that fly. There's eagles. Like,
Yeah, dude, you set this.
This
during
game
the
needs to
first
be
stage,
made.
like I said.
oh well,
So
you
you
could.
just put this during
But
with
no.
the
You make this, and you add Aragorn's a playable hero.
I see.
I'm saying you're like actually adding heroes that you know as playable characters, orcs
Yeah.
that you know as playable characters. I'm telling you, this would be the next step for Total War because they did Warhammer and absolutely killed it. Total War Middle Earth would be just like Warhammer, but it would be
just
branded.
gimme, dude. It's an easy one.
That easy, right? I would play that. I
Mhm.
would buy that and play that. I promise you, I'd play it.
As we're talking about easy gimmies, just softballs, low hanging fruit. Give me a Hobbiton Stardew Valley.
What? Shut up. That was my next one. Shiredew Valley. Are you kidding
Easy.
me?
Easy as fuck, dude.
I
Just
can't believe you said that because that was my other
you
one. I was
should
like,
believe it because that one like just makes itself.
dude, Stardew Valley is pretty much the Shire. Look, there's like
Can you imagine
you're
the
building a
quirky
farm.
differences it would add
Yes.
to like the
You
Stardew
have to
formula?
stop young hobbits from taking your crops. That
And you
you're
go into like
growing.
little caves. There's like a little haunted cave, and like the tiny little battles you're having with your cute little sword are so appropriate.
holidays with dancing. There's romance, like you're romancing other hobbits.
Gandalf shows up every once in a while with his little cart, and you can buy certain things from him. Like this,
Build your home. There's a little bit of
it's
fighting.
fucking
relationships.
stupid that this hasn't been made.
Gossip, right? Come on, hobbits love to gossip.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, dude. The gossip.
this
I
is-
feel like hobbits fit Stardew Valley better than humans do.
Oh, yeah, this is like hobbits. Are
It's hard
Stardew
for me
Valley.
to believe Stardew Valley is real with real humans, because humans don't behave like that. There's not like a human that just like lives in a house by themselves in the woods and just like farms and is just open to people walking into their home and socializing with them. Hobbits, yes.
Dude, this is what hobbits do. They just farm. They eat carrots,
Yeah.
raw.
They
just
sell.
and that's
They,
like
yep,
a
they
treat
sell
for them.
goods to each other. They'll bring each other a jar of mayo, and that like pleases
They're
them.
like super stoked by getting a jar of jam, right?
That's a fucking
and then
big deal.
Every
The
now
Hobbit.
and then you have to
Not
point,
humans. You're like, dude, Mrs. White brought me another jar of this shitty
Like,
jam.
Why was
Why is she so fucking weird?
I can grow that same thing and make that jam myself. Like it's not even that good.
Buy it at a store.
Yeah. You also occasionally you would have to point the rare dark rider in a direction.
Fuck
Just
yeah.
shows up in the middle of the night and you're like, that way.
Oh,
way.
Yeah, away from here because
Yeah.
this can't be good. And then
dude,
at the very end of the game is the scourging of the Shire, right? And it's just like a big fucking nightmare.
dude, that's gotta be right.
That's
It's
how it
gotta
ends.
be. And then like you're fighting now, and you're like the only hobbit.
Well, you
who
go
knows
from
how to
fighting in
fight,
just the little cave outside of the town, and now the fight's everywhere, and you have to defend the town.
and you're the only one who knows how to fight because you've been
No.
fighting in this
Oh,
cave.
it's cool. You know how to fight, but then 4 like crazy war veteran
hobbits?
hobbits come home. Yeah, war hobbits come home, and they're like, "Oh, it's okay."
But also you kind of don't like them because one of them is a toque. And
Oh.
you're like, ugh.
Oh, they're real cocks, but they're gonna save the.
Yeah,
Shire.
like you're not stoked about it, but it's really your only choice.
But their
You're like,
swords glow, so you're like, yeah, you guys take point on this one.
those brandy bucks.
There's some Lord of the Rings fans out there that are like, hey, nice, you guys are nailing it on this one.
Dude, for reals though, this game needs to be made again.
This one's dumb.
I would be so
easy.
thrilled to play this.
Yeah. I like the I don't know where the Lord of the Rings Ring of Power is. I don't know what they're doing or what they're covering.
Are
they
don't
covering
know
the destruction of Numenor, like the island?
So yes, the destruction of Numenor and when Mordor is formed.
Oh, that's sick. So I think that would be great for a game. That's all I'll say. Like, if you guys are watching the show, I won't like spoil it or anything, but that time period, I don't know if they're covering it accurately, but from what I've read and watched videos on, they're not. It's really cool.
When I talked about this, you have to, when you watch it, just view it as fan fiction because they like retcon stuff, and you're like, look at this fan fiction.
Basically,
that's what a video game would be, right? You just do a video game in a different story, and like it's fan fiction, right?
Very briefly, the earliest men were so impressive and dope that the Valar built them a star-shaped island in the middle of the ocean, just raised it out of the ocean. We're like, you guys can live here, and it's fucking awesome, and you guys are awesome, and everything's great.
And they were awesome.
And they were. In fact, they were so awesome that Sauron himself, remember, like the evilest dude and very, very powerful, was like, dang, these guys are fucking awesome. And so he slithered into their court, corrupted their king, and talked them into like, oh, you should go sail to like the elf heaven because you should be immortal too because you guys are that awesome. And they did it, and then they realized they weren't that awesome. They get the whole fucking island is just covered. And then the earth used to be flat, and then they made it into a sphere because of that, so they couldn't get there. And that's where you get Gondor and Arnor, those kingdoms, is their Numorians who landed on Middle Earth like, holy fuck, that was gnarly. Our whole island just got fucking wrecked.
So we used to have this island. We don't anymore, but we're gonna start something over here now.
And that explains kind of the origins why like Aragorn is so fucking badass and why his lineage is so meaningful, is because it's literally all the way handed down from like this island given to humans by the gods. So that would be kind of cool to cover. Like Peterson said, make your own story. I think that's sick. And the last area I think would be sick is the Sauron, the early years. So you could just do the JRPG. You could play as Sauron. You could play someone trying
to stop Sauron.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be gorgeous. Like he's supposed to be this smoke show. And then he goes through, and he just goes through his own rough periods. Obviously, his mentor is kind of a dick, kind of a Balrog whipping chode. But then he ends up that he was on that island when it got destroyed, and it destroyed him too. And that's why he's not pretty anymore, and he looks like whatever the fuck metal guy he is now. But yeah, I think Sauron's early years would be fun. When he's like a smoky, is he in that show? Sauron in Rings of Power?
I think so.
Is he just like so good looking?
No, I think if it's who I was thinking of, he was kind of like Eminem looking. But
so he's like a Detroit 6. That's fine. Yeah, that's what Sauron was.
To be fair, though, again, they did not stick to lore that closely because there's like, remember how people were getting mad because some of the elves were like black? They had like a black elf and a black dwarf, and they're like, that is not what
I don't
elves
care
are
the color as long as it's a smoke show. That's all I care about. They're all supposed to be super hot and fuckable.
No, they're not all super hot. That's the other piece. Is there are some goofy looking dwarves, elves in that show. No, straight up goofy looking elves. I'm gonna start sending you pictures now.
There are no goofy elves. That's like the whole fucking point.
I know. I think Elrond is a weird looking dude. Oh gosh,
my god, that's
this is
funny.
great.
My last
they're all weird looking. None of them have long hair either, and none of them are blonde.
The what? And they don't have pointy ears either.
It's fan fiction.
And they all just wear t-shirts.
And
one of them has an ear pod in, and no one fucking says anything about it. What the hell? You fucking just don't care about shit anymore. You just do whatever the fuck you want with your TV
It's
show.
fan fiction, JD.
What's wrong with people? You just make shit up. Go make your own stupid fantasy show where the elves aren't pretty and they look like Danny DeVito and
You're talking about The Witcher. That's the
go make The Witcher. Except for no, don't. You ruined that too. My last one was I thought it'd be cool if you had a dwarf mining game. You could do this like Terraria or whatever, right? Or just any of these mining games. I think isn't that one Dwarf Fortress? Isn't that the idea?
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings Dwarf Fortress clone. Just give me that. Something like that. Just give me a little bit more lore and connected. And if you go too deep, you hit a Balrog and he comes and fucks up your whole town type of shit.
Yeah, it's like a balance of like we're right at the edge of Balrog territory.
Yeah, dude.
We need a little bit more.
Don't get too greedy. It's your greed level. You got to manage your dwarf's greed.
They'll get there. Don't worry. You'll see something like glowing in the background. And you're like, I have to get that.
I need that.
Get that. The Balrog's
dragon. I probably don't care if it's a dragon.
I can fight a Balrog.
Yeah, so there are a handful of games. I will say the low-hanging fruit, obviously, the Stardew Valley.
You got to do that one.
The Kart Racer.
The Kart Racer.
What are you guys fucking waiting for?
Don't
finish the podcast. Just go start coding these games.
The Kart Racers are easy at this point. Go do that. It's not like we want it, but you're gonna do it. But we do want this we do want Shiredew Valley.
Yes, please give us Shiredew Valley. That would be excellent.
Dice of Destiny.
Okie dokie. Dice of Destiny is the segment game, whatever we play at the end of every episode. 6-sided dice tells you who's going to be playing the Dice of Destiny. 20-sided dice tells you your genre, and another 6-sided dice tells you your budget. So Trent a couple weeks ago rolled a game and I got a bullet hell for $30 or something. Yeah. And then he was out of town, and now I'm going out of town. And so we're giving him another mulligan, but we don't want to deprive anyone. So we're going to do an overlapping. What was that called? When you're like singing Christmas carols in elementary school and you'd
round.
Is it a round?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay, so we're doing a round on Dice of Destiny this week. So next week, I will have a pick. Trent will have a review. And then the week after that, I will have a review. And we'll just keep
are you doing it? We didn't roll you.
Whoever gets it. Yes.
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you were just claiming Dice of Destiny. That is not how the dice work.
I'm glad you jumped on it so fast. Just my theoretical was so offensive to Peterson. Okay, so we got a 6-sided dice. We'll give Jenna one number. She's in the other room playing something. So I'll holler at her if we roll her. What's that? What
Jenna!
Number?
Jenna!
So I will do. Do you want 3 numbers or 2, Peterson?
Let's each do 2, and Jenna gets 1. I'll be 1, 2. You be 3, 4. Jenna will be 6.
And 5 is a reroll. It's a 3. What's a 3? Was that me?
That's you.
See, I knew it. Okay, so
you tempt fate. You're getting a porn game.
Go. It's a 5. What's a 5? Buy a used retro game.
That was yours. You put that on there.
Sick. All right, so we updated the Dice of Destiny a little bit ago and added a few fun ones like buy a used retro game, Steam top 10 new and trending, excessive blood and gore, and sex. We added porn and sex as well. Someone's gonna get that 19. Someone's gonna hit that 19. It's on 19. That's
you're gonna be like 19. That's a good roll, right? What is it?
What is though? No. Fuck. So yeah, I rolled a 5, which is buy a used retro game, which means I need to go buy a game either for one of the 3 consoles I have accessible to me right now, which is a Dreamcast, a PlayStation 2, and a Game Boy Advance.
Oh my gosh. Yours are retro.
Is that retro? That's so funny. Those were all new when I was a kid. Those are all the hot, cool ones. So I got to go find a used one in a game store. I'll be up in Portland this weekend, so maybe I can find a used game store to buy a
Oh my
Dreamcast game in.
gosh.
Guys, this is so fucking awesome. I'm so excited I got this one. Okay, so used retro game is off the board and platformer is on. So that is where we're at on the Dice of Destiny. And I need to roll a 6-sided. Peterson, you have a 6-sided dice?
Yep,
I already put
I
mine
got
away.
one. Here we go. 5.
Oh, well,
$50 or less, JD.
I may
think,
need that $50, dude.
depending on the
honestly.
game you try to grab.
Yeah, some of these retro games are fucking pricey as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I will have for us next week. I'll have my pick. I'll probably own it at that point, hopefully, because I can't buy it online. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for everyone that came and dropped by. Thanks to Abby and Snorgle and Jacob for swinging by and hanging out on the live stream. Always appreciate guys coming out and hanging out with us. To play us out, we've got the player select music from Mortal Kombat for the Super Nintendo. Someone's out there is going to just get teleported back to a shag rug basement when they hear this, just like that. And they'll be there looking at an old tube TV, fighting over their turn.
I can like feel the controller in my hand right now. That's weird.
Those corner, yeah, it's weird. The smell. All right. I'm JD logging off.
And this is Peterson going AFK.